Hey guys, this is Kelly with the Garden Whisperer. If you're unfamiliar with what I do, I design flower beds and garden beds for homeowners where they can either install it themselves or they can hire a landscaper if they're choosing to install it for them according to the design plans. Before I get started, this is just a quick video today, but before I get started, just please put the CC caption on when you view my buttons or when you view my videos, because for some reason my viewers cannot see the text without the closed captioning button on. So if I put product names or plant names or my website address, things like that, for some reason it doesn't show unless you have the closed caption button on. So anyway, so this today is a garden bed that I've been working on. I had the landscaper move these huge rocks for me. I'm going to have him adjust them a little bit because I'm a little OCD like that and they're just a tad off to me. So I'm going to have him help me move those because these suckers are heavy. So the other day, I transplanted these Carex bowls grass, B-O-W-L-E-S. There's one there, and there's one there, and I'm still working on this side, filling all that soil back in. If you saw my other videos, you probably saw that it was a lot more, so I've actually done a lot, but I still have a lot left to do. So basically, I fill in the native soil after I take the rock out. And then I put a layer of the native soil, then a layer of cow manure compost, then a layer of native soil, then compost. It's like layering a cake. And then it helps to get nutrients and organic matter back into this horrible, hard rock clay kind of soil that we have up in Northeast PA. So I transplanted these Carex grasses. They were in another part of my shade garden in the back, and I just didn't like where they were, so I decided to move them here. And they say they like part sun, part shade, or full shade. They do just fine in full sun. They just get a little more yellow as opposed to like a chartreuse or lime green. But they're really cool because they're yellow, but then I don't know if you can see, but they have like green lines around the sides. So the inside is like a lighter green yellow, and the outside edges have like a green stripe. So they're pretty cool. They say they're supposed to get 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. Honestly, they were in my other garden for 2 years at least. Maybe going on 3. Definitely 2. And they only got about 12 feet. Or 12 feet. 12 inches. 12 inches wide and tall. So I don't know. But they're going to go really well with my catmint. As you see, they're just starting to bud. And they come out. They look more purple, but they actually come out like a purplish blue. Very pretty. And they're going to get about 12 to 14 inches wide and tall, I believe. So they're going to go really nicely with the lime green yellow color. And then back here, I have my yellow happy face potentilla plants. There's one there, there's one there, and there's another catmint, there's the other grass. So I'm kind of doing a traditional design for this. I've got some conifer, small gold cone junipers that are arriving probably the end of, I'm going to say beginning of next week. They're supposed to ship the end of this week, so probably tomorrow. Or today maybe. I got to check my emails. But anyway, so, and then I'm going to be putting a trellis here. It's a moon-shaped trellis. So it's going to go like here, and then it's going to go all the way up over to the other side. It's about 6 or 7 feet tall, and it's not too wide, so it'll fit perfectly. And then I'm going to probably put some wisteria that's going to vine up over it, maybe plant it over here and have it vine up. And then once I get the deck redone, because that has to be done, it's fallen apart. I bought a foreclosure here a few years ago, and I've slowly been renovating, and the deck is on the list. It's on the agenda. So once that's done, then I'm going to be planting some privacy shrubs, flowering shrubs, hopefully here, because it'll give me privacy from the yard and neighbors when I'm sitting out on the deck, just enjoying a glass of wine, reading a magazine, and just watching my gardens, which I love to do. So, yeah, so I'm just slowly planting stuff and digging up soil. So it's just taking a little bit of time because I'm doing it all myself, and I have literally about 5 or 6 projects going at once right now, so it's just going to take some time. But then once that's all done, I'm going to fill everything, once everything's planted, fill everything in with mulch, and I think I'm going to replace the grass on this walkway with maybe some Irish moss. I'm not sure yet, but I'm not liking the grass because it just keeps getting weeds in it, as you can see. And yeah, I'm not liking that. So I did this patio last year myself, and it goes all the way around to the back of the yard to my other project, my patio that's going to have my chick pit on it, my fire pit, my little globe. So yeah, so that's another project, and I'm hoping to get that done soon, but I really want to get this soil put back in first before I start the fire pit. So next project. But anyway, so that's it for this, and it's gonna be pretty cool because it's coming from the driveway, and that's another thing I have to get redone. It's the driveway. But once the trellis is up and everything starts to really fill in and grow in, you're going to come up on the driveway and you're going to want to walk through. It's going to be it'll give you a little bit of intrigue and mystery because you won't know what's beyond past the trellis. So it's going to invite you in and say, come take a look. So anyway, so that's the start of this area, and eventually I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing on this side as far as how I'm going to design it, but I definitely am going to be pulling up all this grass. And once the deck is done, I'm going to have some taller shrubs in the back, put some smaller things in front, and then smaller things in front right up to the walkway. And it's just going to go all the way around, literally like this, all the way up to the edge. And it's going to go all the way around and meet with all this. So that's the design for this one. It's just taken some time, like I said, because I have 20 million things going on at once. And as you can see, my ajuga are doing so phenomenally well. They're so pretty, but they're going to have to be transplanted. So these are one of my favorite deer resistant ground covers. They're just so gorgeous, and they just have so many blooms on them. What is that? Oh, that's one of the flowers that fell from, okay, that's just a flower petal that fell from one of my potted plants up there. But anyway, and these are daffodils, so all this is going to have to get transplanted. And this is a sage plant, Russian sage, that's coming back this year. Just planted that the end of last year, so that's doing well. And here's my peony shrub that was here when I bought the house. And this is going to have to be divided probably in the fall because I'm not getting a lot of blooms. There's only about 5 to 10 buds, and usually only about 5 actually bloom. And this shrub should really be covered in blooms, so it needs to be divided, and I think the previous owners planted it too deeply, hence why it's not producing a lot of blooms as well. So one thing at a time. So that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to give an update on this lovely garden area. I'm hoping to get this done within the next week, but we've just been having tons of rain, and it's been cold and gloomy. So yeah, I mean, we even had, everything's still wet. We even had some rain this morning. So it's supposed to dry up a little bit, get a little warmer. So, yeah, and then hopefully I'm going to tackle this in the next couple days, get it done, and just start planting and putting up the trellis. And I think it's going to look really sharp, and I'll do another video when that's been done. And I'm going to probably be, putting some spring bulbs or something in between the rocks and around the rocks. And eventually I want to do the ajuga ground cover in front here as well. But until I get the driveway done, that's not going to happen. Because if they go pulling up the driveway and well, although the ajuga is really hardy, you could kind of do anything to it and it just comes back. But as you can see, we have one here I transplanted last year. And it's already blooming, and it's getting bigger, and yeah, before you know it, in the next month, that thing will probably be about 12 inches wide. But anyway, so I don't want to plant anything too close to the driveway until the driveway is dug up and redone. One thing at a time, right? All right, guys, so that's just my video on this garden bed that I've been working on and transplanting my carex grasses. And even though it's kind of a traditional style, it's kind of, I'm going to add a little bit of country cottage into a cottage style garden into it as well. So I'm not going to have everything matchy-matchy, but just in the front entryway is going to be kind of matchy-matchy. Except the rocks are different. I didn't want to match the rocks, so they were identical, 3 and 3. And so, yeah. And then I have here, which the deer love, so hence why it's covered. But this is a Stonecrop Back in Black, I believe it's called. And it's really supposed to be a chocolate brown, but I think that may change towards summer and fall. And it could be just because of the new growth. It really popped up this year. And yeah, they say it doesn't really like a lot of moisture, but it does, because it's kind of a succulent type of plant. And let me tell you, it didn't get water for a couple days and it started to wilt. And then I poured a half a bucket of water on it and it popped right back up. So it definitely likes water. And it actually sat in some water this late winter, early spring, because we had tons of rain. And it did just fine. So that blew my mind. But I guess as long as it has good drainage. But it did, but it still was so much rain that it was just puddled around it. So I don't know. But the deer love it too. So I'm just hoping I can get everything grown in. And they kind of don't really recognize this or see it when they're walking through my yard. Once everything is filled in. Weeds. And yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. So, and it produces these really pretty reddish pink flowers in the fall. So I'm hoping that happens. And they just won't. They'll ignore it and leave it alone. But anyway. So that's my video for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, because that's how I can grow my channel. And if you're interested in hiring my design services, you can reach me at www.the-garden-whisperer.com. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.